Hey everyone, Jackie Lewis, Head of Market Intelligence for Harvest Group here with a quick take on tariffs. Unfortunately, the saga continues, with last week's developments in court being the latest in this roller coaster we've all been riding together since February when the first tariff policies were announced. Last Wednesday, most of the U.S.'s country-specific tariffs were paused or struck down following the two major federal court rulings declaring the tariffs unlawful under IEEPA, or the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That's a mouthful. Shortly after, on Thursday, the U.S. Court of Appeals then issued a temporary stay order on this lower court's ruling, which means the tariffs remain in effect while the appeals process gets underway. The court has set deadlines for future briefings with responses due by June 5th and the government's reply then by June 9th. The Trump administration has indicated it may seek emergency relief from the Supreme Court if necessary. Bottom line is, unfortunately for the retail industry, tariffs are still on for now, which means brands and retailers should still be moving forward with all of those mitigation efforts you've been working on, since we have no idea where all of this is going to net out or when, since things, of course, can get tied up in the courts for long periods of time. Amidst all of this news we saw in the media last week, we're also in the middle of earnings season, which we recap every quarter for our clients. And all of our retailers have been reporting their first quarter results to Wall Street, spending quite a bit of time on these earnings calls talking about tariffs. So let's see what they have all been saying. Walmart was super frank. Tariffs are expected to raise prices, especially in general merchandise. They're actively shifting sourcing and holding inventory much more flexibly to avoid overcommitting to big buys as costs keep fluctuating as tariff rates keep changing. Costco then echoed the same sentiment last week on their call. They reported non-foods categories have officially tipped inflationary in their latest quarter, directly tied to tariffs, but emphasized that raising prices for them is an absolute very last resort. Costco and all the club retailers, for that matter, are going to be leaning into their limited SKU assortments over the coming months to favor domestic products, and likely even more space may be moving to non-tariff food items over the coming months as well. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. Even Amazon typically doesn't spend much time talking about their retail business on their earnings call, flagged heightened forward ordering from both 1P and 3P sellers in the first quarter, suggesting a lot of inventory came in ahead of expected tariff price hikes, right? So making sure that Prime Day inventory is where it needs to be if some of these facilities are near capacity is going to be super important. And then lastly, Target in a little bit of a tougher position. Over 50% of their assortment is imported. They admit the ultimate impact to demand and consumer demand is still really largely unknown, but they're diversifying their sourcing as quickly as they can, adjusting ordering timing, and selective price increases, like Costco said, as a very, very last resort. So here at Harvest Group, what do we make of all of this news? So tariffs clearly aren't just a pricing issue, right? They're influencing sourcing decisions, order patterns for upcoming holiday periods, promotional planning, and even shelf space today. The message from retailers to brands has been really clear on these calls. Communicate your impact, be flexible, act fast, and protect value to the consumer. Here at Harvest Group, we are helping all of our clients do exactly that. This is just the latest, but stay tuned, as I'm sure we're going to have more updates coming soon. Thanks.